Game 4 here in Kenai between the Anchorage Bucs and the Peninsula Oilers. As the Bucs started out the series strong with a Game 1 win in the 10th inning before dropping 2 games to the Peninsula Oilers, including a loss last night by just 1 run. I'm Ren Grimsley along with Jake Sloan. I want to thank you for watching here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel for the final game of this road series. We will throw it over to Jake now for starting lineups between the two teams.
Yeah, so for the Bucs, the road team, leading off will be the third baseman Camden Landfear. Behind him, like usual as it has been for the past 3 or 4 games, Andrew Raymond in right field batting second. And it gets switched up a little bit with the left fielder Luke McLeod batting third. Hank Smith once again in cleanup, the first baseman. Ryan Dara shifts over to center field. He'll bat fifth. Finn Leach remains over at shortstop batting sixth. In the 7th spot is the designated hitter Hayden Miller. The catcher Lucas Perez is batting 8th, and the 9-hole hitter will be the second baseman Andrew Sheffield with Evan Stratton, the righty, on the mound. And on the other side for the Oilers will be Shane Cannon, the shortstop, leading things off, followed up by the designated hitter Brooks Hassencleaver, Mark Nellis in left field batting third. The catcher Isaac Fernandez batting fourth. And then batting fifth, the first baseman Wyatt Bundy. Batting sixth, the second baseman Luke Skinner. Jack Holubowski, the third baseman, batting seventh. And in the 8th spot will be Garrison Jones at center field. And rounding things out, the right fielder batting ninth is Brady Brown. Starting on the mound for the Oilers will be Keaton Prendez, the right-hander that will look to clinch the quote-unquote season series so far, this being the 4th of 4 road games for the Bucs. Lost to both of the last 2 games after starting the road trip with a win.
It's a pretty similar lineup from top to bottom for the Bucs. Obviously got Luke McLeod in left field. He pitched yesterday, gave up no runs in the 9th inning. And Lucas Perez, who is starting at catcher for the first time this season. And Evan Stratton on the mound had a rough outing his last time up. He started the game on the road against the Chinooks and pitched 1 inning, gave up 5 runs and 6 hits, and that was the only inning he saw that game in a big loss to the Chinooks earlier this season.
Yeah, and it was crazy because the first 2 batters he faced, he struck out. So it was going to look like an easy first inning for the Bucs, and then those 5 runs given up, it was just single after single. It was death by 1,000 cuts. So now Stratton with his second opportunity to try and follow up his last performance with a much better outing, and the Bucs are certainly going to need it. We've seen how bad the bullpen has been the last couple games. The starting pitchers have really been the deciding factor.
So they'll go through lineups and the anthem here at the stadium. And we'll be back on the other side for Bucs baseball here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. So on the mound now, the lefty pitcher, Kian Prendez, will start things for the Oilers. He is a junior from Ottawa University, stands at 5'9", originally from Dinuba, California.
Had a pretty solid outing, making his second start of the year. His first one came in a close 2-1 victory over the Glacier Pilots through 5 innings. Allowed just 1 earned run off of 4 hits, struck out 5. Also walked 5 batters, so we saw what happened yesterday when the Bucs were able to stay patient in the batter's box and draw walks. They'll likely try to do the same against Prendez here. Last couple of games, the Bucs have really been able to anchor that top 2 in their batting lineup with Camden Lanfear and Andrew Raymond. Obviously, Luke Taylor was part of that trio, but a hit by pitch on his wrist has taken him out of these last 2 games. Sure, the Bucs will love to get him back as soon as possible, but McLeod in that 3 spot, he's done solid, has the game-winning RBI of 1 of 2 wins for the Bucs this year. He's come up big on both sides of the ball, both on the mound and at the plate. See if he can continue that.
So it'll be Camden Lanfear starting things off. He'll take ball 1. Lanfear yesterday with 5 at-bats, 2 hits, and reached 1 time on fielder's choice. Goes ahead and takes ball 2.
Lanfear's been very solid for them in the leadoff position. He's reached base safely at a great rate, been able to steal a couple bags too.
Pops this one into foul territory and out of reach for first baseman Wyatt Bundy for strike 1.
It's been very important for the Bucs to have Lanfear be the leadoff batter that reaches safely.
Lanfear pops this one into center. Able to make a play as Garrison Jones for out 1.
Very solidly hit ball, but we've seen a lot in this league with the wood bats. It's been difficult to clear the head of the outfielders, even with how shallow they play at times. Lanfear just not able to find a gap there with that solidly hit ball.
Now Drew Raymond up to bat. The left-handed batter playing right field today. He puts one into play and will beat out the throw. Second baseman Luke Skinner taking his time to get to that ball. Just didn't quite attack it like he probably should have.
Yeah, it was a slow roller that he expected to get to him in time, just kind of moved left to right instead of attacking it at a certain angle. He had the ability to do so with how weakly the ball was hit, but great job by Raymond to beat out the throw, and once again, the Bucs able to generate a base runner in the first frame.
Now Luke McLeod up to bat. He's taking the spot of where Luke Taylor has traditionally bat. However, Luke Taylor took a ball to the wrist 2 days ago, and we have not seen him since. McLeod playing the left field position for the first time this season. He puts one into center as well. And a reaching grab for out number 2 from Garrison Jones.
Yeah, great play there by Jones. Kind of got turned around with the direction that the ball was heading, started in on him, and then kind of cut back to the left. He was able to adjust in time. It's the second time we've seen a ball hit well out to center field, but that one less than half a foot away from being extra bases.
Hank Smith now up. Had a hit yesterday. He takes up high for ball 1.
So first time he was able to record a hit in 3 games, even with how well he's been able to put his barrel to the bat, or the ball, excuse me. It's just been a lot of hard hit outs for him so far.
Another pitch up high from Prendez for a 2-0 count to Hank Smith.
That just kind of goes back to the 5 walks that Prendez has given up. The Bucs are able to get ahead in these counts early. That could be a good sign for them to try to put some pressure on Prendez.
Prendez able to lower that ball up in the zone for strike 1. Another high fastball for a 3-1 count. All of these pitches to Smith have been in the top of the zone or above the zone.
Yeah, Smith just doing a great job, taking exactly what is being given, not reaching too high, just waiting for Prendez to really challenge him.
He puts that one into play on looked like a check swing, and the throw will just be in time from shortstop Shane Cannon, who will be our leadoff hitter in the bottom of the first when we come back. Evan Stratton on the mound for the Bucs, and hope you enjoyed the dance moves of Scoop, the mascot here for the Oilers, as he danced across your screen, as he has done every game between the top of the first and the bottom of the first. But then he kind of disappears from this point on.
Yeah, we still have not found out where he goes after the first inning. He may leave. He may just be doing his job, and then he is gone.
That is all he gets paid to do. We'll have Shane Cannon up to bat, the shortstop, who recorded the final out in the top of the inning. Stratton delivers outside for ball 1.
And it seems like through the first 4 innings, all of the starting pitchers for the Bucs have been lights out. Fragus didn't allow a single run up until the 5th yesterday. Stratton just trying to give as much as he can to the Bucs and try to keep that bullpen from working into overtime like they have the past couple games.
Goes outside on the first pitch, inside the second for a 2-0 count. Just touches the inside of the plate for 2-1.
Great job to just find the strike zone there, attack the hitter, force them to make a play.
Little outside. 3-1 count to Cannon.
We've talked about how with the wood bats in this league, it's not the worst idea to just, even if it's a fastball that they're able to time up well, if they get all of a pitch, that one misses for ball 4. It's not going to travel as far as it would with aluminum bats in college. So biggest thing for Stratton is just attack these hitters, force them to make a play. We've seen the worst case that happens is a lot of singles given up. They're not going to find a hole every single time.
So an early base runner for the Oilers. No outs as Brooks Hassencleaver comes up to bat. He had a hit and 2 walks in yesterday's game, and he is in the DH spot today. As he puts one into play, will be just foul. As Hank Smith tried to make a play on it. It bounced fair and then bounced foul. And Hassencleaver will head back to the plate.
Yeah, I think it was that second bounce that determined the foul ball. I thought it might have stayed fair, but first base umpire had a perfect look at it. It was right in front of him, so he obviously saw which side of the foul line it bounced on, and probably not too bad of a result for the Bucs to give Stratton another chance to keep the runner at first.
Able to get the outside of the plate for strike 2.
And if Stratton's able to find command of his fastball and these off-speed pitches, maybe some breaking balls, could be a good sign for the Bucs if he's able to mix up all those pitches and not give the hitter any chance of what able to find out what the next pitch might be.
So the runner goes, and Hassencleaver able to get one past the glove of Sheffield. And with an excellent jump from Cannon, he'll be able to make it to third in time, and Hassencleaver reaches first safely.
It's exactly what a hit and run is supposed to do. Sheffield would have been right there to field the ground ball. It was hit right to where he usually stands, but because of the runner, he had to go over and either cover second or be the backup man if the throw to second was off target. So the Bucs now in some trouble early.
Runners at the corners, no outs. Mark Nellis up to bat. He's hit leadoff in 2 of the games this series, now batting third, and he did not record a hit yesterday. It'll be an early strike from Stratton for an 0-1. Fired over, looking to turn the double play. Won't be able to turn 2, and the run for the Oilers will score. So Mark Nellis safe at first, and Hassencleaver out at second.
Not too far off from turning the double play there. Sheffield just wasn't able to turn his hips in time and deliver a non-target throw. They're able to get the force out for at least 1 out, so the double play ball is still available if they're able to force a ground ball.
Just outside on the first pitch to catcher Isaac Fernandez. So runner on first. Fernandez chops over to Lamphere, who can't get a glove on it. It'll head into left field. And another base hit for the Oilers. Nellis stays at second.
Hard play over there at the hot corner for Lamphere. As he was turning, it looked like he kind of just turned his head away and wasn't able to fully see the ball hit his glove and just pulled back at the last second. Would have been a close play over at first, even if he was able to snag that out of the dirt. But instead, it's 2 runners on, still only 1 out.
And it'll be Wyatt Bundy, the first baseman for the Oilers, at the plate. Runners on first and second. Shows bunt. Puts it down, however, rolling foul. Only making it about half a foot before rolling out.
Smart play there by Perez. Looked like he was about to field it until he saw the type of spin that was on the ball, was able to get his feet out of the way. Didn't make contact with the ball, and it winds up foul.
0-1 to Wyatt Bundy is chopped to Andrew Sheffield. Tries to get the double play at second. So a line out to second for Wyatt Bundy.
Sheffield almost close to turning the double play there. Had maybe a better chance at first, but Hank Smith was too far off the bag. And Isaac Fernandez would have dove back in time, so opted to take the closer play at second with Finn Leach right next to him. Still able to get a crucial second out.
Luke Skinner, the second baseman, will take strike one from Stratton.
Big at bat here for Stratton. We talked about the last time he was on the mound. Gave up 5 runs, all that came with 2 outs. Would be great if he would be able to limit it to just the 1 run. He's forced every batter to put the ball in play so far. Hasn't warranted a lot of swings and misses, but has a chance to get one here to end the inning.
Luke Skinner from Bradley University. Very good friends with Hayden Miller on the Bucs. Faces an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. And will go down looking for the final out in the bottom of the first. The Oilers able to take a 1-0 lead. The Bucs will be back on offense, starting with Ryan Dara when we come back. Kian Prindez back on the mound for the Oilers. He gave up a single to Raymond in the top of the first. However, was able to get Hank Smith out on a ground ball to short and will now face Ryan Dara in the top of the second.
Dara was able to reach base in a multitude of ways. Earned a walk, a single, and a hit by a pitch, and also stole a pair of bags. That was against the arm of Reed Oakley, who we've seen put on a defensive clinic throughout this week. Haven't seen the arm of Isaac Fernandez behind the dish often, so if Dara is able to get on, and any other speedsters on this team will be very interesting to see if they challenge him.
Dara quickly down in the count 0-2. Dara spent his freshman year at Arizona State, just committed to Tulane a couple days ago, as he takes one in the dirt for ball 1.
Louisiana native, went across the country to one of the more prestigious colleges for baseball. And sat out for a year, was behind a Golden Spikes semifinalist or a finalist, Landon Hairston, so didn't see a whole lot of playing time.
And he'll go down swinging for the first out in the top of the second inning. And it'll be his teammate at Arizona State, Finn Leach, playing shortstop today up next.
Also didn't see a whole lot of action his first year as a Sun Devil, but with a couple of guys in that middle infield graduating and hoping to get drafted, might be a couple spots open for him to make his mark, and he can definitely show off some of that skill here this summer.
He takes a first pitch strike. Before chopping one foul. He's down to 0-2 as well.
Was able to reach base 3 times yesterday, though. He didn't register a hit. Walked in, reached on a fielder's choice, and then an error. Trying to find his first hit here today in the early going.
Check swing will appeal down to first. They'll say he didn't go. And a 1-2 count. The Bucs have been pretty good the past several games at drawing walks. Haven't drawn one yet today. And it'll be some work for Finn Leach if he wants to get that walk here, as the 1-2 is put into right field. And Brady Brown there for the grab and the second out.
Seems that Prendez is attacking a lot of these hitters up high. Very interesting at bat here for Hayden Miller, who has chased a lot of pitches in his plate appearances, but with a bit of a smaller frame at 5'11", could shrink the strike zone even more for Prendez.
And wild that 5'11" is considered a smaller frame, but there are some large individuals on this Bucs team.
Yeah, Leach, who just went down, is 6'1", and before him, Dara is 6'3". So for somebody like Miller, who he may only be 5'11", but stands in at 205, has a lot of power, a lot of lower body power that he's able to turn into his swings when he's able to get some contact.
He takes ball 3 and a 3-0 count. And a ball in the dirt for ball number 4. And the first walk to the Bucs here in today's game. Another runner aboard. Had Raymond at first in the first inning. And now we'll see Lucas Perez, who is debuting at the catcher position today.
For Miller, he drew 21 walks with Bradley University this collegiate season. Did not draw a single walk in his first 6 games with the Bucs, so that's could be huge for him in just continuing to find that patience that he's been searching for.
Another ball above the zone for a 1-0 count. Up again, 2-0 to Perez.
And the Bucs have no reason to swing at these pitches until Prendez can find the strike zone and lower some of these pitches. They have no reason to take the bat off their shoulder.
Able to put one in for strike 1.
As if on cue, he gives them a reason right there, and as that bat becomes a little more competitive, Perez still in front with the hitter's count, though.
Prendez looks over to Miller at first before delivering and sent deep into left field. It's going to be foul by several feet. However, great distance there off the bat of Perez.
Yeah, Perez was just a hair in front of that one. If he waits just a little longer and is able to time up that swing there, he could have sent it over that fence in left field. It was a foul ball that went over the heads of the Bucs bullpen there in deep left field.
It's the second foul home run we've seen from the Bucs this series. Saw one from Hank Smith 2 days ago. Chopped over to short. And gets the throw off in time from Shane Cannon. And that will be the third out in the top of the second. The Bucs strand a runner for the second straight inning. And we'll be back for the bottom when we come back. Evan Stratton stays on the mound for the Bucs here in the second inning. He will face Jack Holubowski, the third baseman for the Oilers, to start things off.
Holubowski did not play in yesterday's game after starting on Wednesday. Had a pair of singles and was also hit by a pitch, one of several batters who was plucked by a ball in that game. Stepping in here, he's not seen a whole lot to swing at so far.
2-0, swung on and missed for strike one.
Good pitch there by Stratton to slowly work his way back into this at-bat. He's fallen behind in a lot of counts so far.
Another swing and miss from Holubowski for an even count at 2.
Stratton seems to have better command on that outer part of the plate. He's able to teeter-totter right on that strike zone line, and batters aren't able to catch up in time.
Puts a fastball in almost the same spot. No swing from Holubowski for a full count. The first full count for Stratton as he delivers the payoff pitch and a swing and miss as Holubowski goes down for the first out in the bottom of the second.
Holubowski looked like he was sitting fastball and decided if he throws a fastball, I'm going to time it up great, and I'll just have to adjust if he throws off speed, and that's exactly what Stratton did. Seems like it would be a better idea to try to sit on that breaking ball and be able to speed up your bat to the fastball and either foul it off or put it in play. Had a long talk about all that stuff with the Bucs pitching coach. They call him Puff over there.
Aaron Puffer, who spent his time at Purdue and Creighton and also in the minor leagues, as his pitcher, Evan Stratton, with 2 straight strikeouts and now an 0-2 count to Garrison Jones. Off the glove of Perez. Hard to tell if it tipped the bat of Jones.
I'm assuming it did. If Jones is still in there, even if it's a dropped third strike, it would still count as strike 3, but Perez was that close to hauling in the foul tip for strike 3. He's going to try to get a swing and miss here.
That pitch just a little low and away. Tries to get Garrison Jones swinging outside the zone. Won't be able to in a 1-2 count.
He's throwing a lot of fastballs to Jones here. Wonder if he tries to slow it down with a breaking ball or just an off-speed pitch.
Looked like a breaking ball that took a nosedive at the end for a 2-2 count.
Back-to-back pitches that seemed very difficult for Jones to lay off of. He was able to, though.
Put into play, Sheffield able to make the ground ball, and excellent hustle from Stratton to get over to first to record the second out.
Yeah, great play there. I'm kind of surprised that Smith dove at that ball. It seemed like it was well within reach of Sheffield, but just a great play by Stratton to notice that Smith was going to try to field that ball for himself and pounce off the mound and beat Jones over to first.
Now the 9-hole hitter Brady Brown in right field steps up to the plate as he takes an outside pitch for ball 1.
Brown, like Holubowski, did not play in yesterday's game, but did the day before. Also singled and got hit by a pair of pitches. So his on-base percentage definitely went up. It's halfway to increasing it even more.
Able to hit the bottom of the strike zone for strike 1. A 2-1 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Oilers up 1-0. Check swing, appeals down to first, did not go, and a 3-1 count.
Stratton has seemed to find his favorite swing and miss pitch, that changeup that just dips at the very last second. Oilers have just barely been able to lay off it.
Able to lay off that one for ball 4, and another base runner for the Oilers with 2 outs.
It's only the second walk given up. Obviously, you never want to give any of them up, but what we've seen the last couple days, if he's able to only have a walk per inning, it's not the worst thing in the world.
So back to the top of the lineup with Shane Cannon, who walked in the first inning and eventually reached home. As Stratton keeping an eye on Brady Brown over at first. Brown goes. Perez throw over to second. Will not get him in time. And a successful stolen base for Brown.
It's the first one of the season for him. Did not attempt a stolen bag up until now. So a heads-up play to test the arm of Stratton. He felt like the combination of Stratton and Perez wasn't enough to hose him down at second with the type of lead that he had.
Chopped over to Leach at short. He won't be able to make a throw in time after the speed of Cannon. And so runners reach safely at first and third.
And that was the right play by Leach. We've seen it happen so many times. The infielder makes a great play to keep the ball from reaching the outfield, and then just an errant throw gives both runners a free base, and already given up 1 run in the first. Don't want to give up another one here in the second. with all of Leach's momentum kind of taking him away from the base. Probably wasn't going to beat Cannon, like you said, with that speed that he has.
Now the very dangerous Brooks Hassencleaver up. He hit a single in the first inning as he takes strike one.
And even though it's been a while since we've seen the type of power that he has, he's still the only player in the ABL with 2 homers.
And on the throw over to Smith to keep Cannon at first, it gets past Smith's glove, and both runners will advance, which will drive in the run for the Oilers.
It was going to be a close play if Stratton was able to throw that on target, just wasn't able to there. Tough break from him as he was just 2 batters ago went out away from a 1-2-3 inning, and now has already given up another run here in the second with Cannon on second threatening.
Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Runner on second. The 1-1 chop to Smith at first, who will field it cleanly for out number 3. So 1 run in each inning for the Oilers so far, as it will be Andrew Sheffield up to bat when we come back in the top of the 3rd inning. So Prendez still on the mound for the Oilers. Andrew Sheffield, the second baseman, comes up to the plate. He chops one back to Prendez, who has an easy throw to first for out number 1.
Kind of similar to the same grounder that Perez had to end the second. This one, Prendez is able to extend his glove, and it's a good thing that he was able to, as it would have been a much closer play at first with the speed of Sheffield compared to Perez.
1 out, back to the top of the lineup with Camden Lanphier, who popped out to center his first time up as he takes ball 1 inside. So that first pitch was actually a strike inside. Now with an 0-2 count, Prendez delivers a off-speed pitch that goes low for ball 1.
Talked about how patient the Bucs were to start this game and how important that would be. Lanphier trying to work his way out of an 0-2 count here with that same patience.
Puts this one into right center field. He'll head for second, or will be held up. Made a few steps over towards second base, but center fielder Garrison Jones was there with the ball.
Yeah, it's been so hard for these players to be able to turn on a ball well enough to send it between a gap between the outfielders and all the way to the wall. They've all done such a great job cutting off the ball and keeping runners at first, and that one by Lanfear no different.
Raymond up to bat. Had a check swing. Didn't go around, but in the zone for strike one. Raymond with a single his last time up. And Prendez will make sure Lanfear stays right where he is at first base.
After singling to start off the game yesterday, Lanfear stole second to quickly put some pressure on the opposing pitcher. Prendez trying to keep that from happening to him.
Fouled back for strike two to Raymond. The 0-2 pitch will have to wait as they check it back over to first.
And with Prendez being a left-handed pitcher, he's able to keep Lanfear in his sights at all times. He's making sure that he doesn't try to get an extra step on him.
Lanfear goes as Raymond sends a deep one into right field. And just a few feet short of that wall for out number two. It looked good coming off the bat of Raymond.
It seems every game they're just getting closer and closer. Raymond just barely missed on that one. It looked good, like you said, off the bat. Had the perfect launch angle, but just fell short of that wall in right field.
That would have been a game-tying home run. Unfortunately stopped at the warning track as Luke McLeod up to bat takes strike one. It's hard to tell. Is there a warning track out there? There should be.
I think there's just a little bit of dirt before the wall. Well, you're right. It's definitely, if it's a warning track, a very short one. There does seem to be a small half ring of dirt, though, out there.
It's very, very small. As the 1-1 to Luke McLeod. Lanfear goes. Fernandez with a throw over to second. And he will be caught stealing for out number three. So an unfortunate end to what was a promising inning, and the Bucs leave another runner on base. We'll be back for the bottom of the third when we come back. Evan Stratton stays on the mound. Out here in the third inning, he'll face Mark Nellis, the left fielder, batting third in the lineup. Nellis reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. He shows bunt. They'll appeal down to first, and once again did not go.
It's not often you see an appeal for a bunt attempt. Just shows how close he was from fully committing to it.
In the dirt past the legs of Perez for ball 2. Puts this one up in foul ground. And Hank Smith unable to make a play as it lands in the bleachers. Oilers up 2-0, no outs in the bottom of the third. And a 2-1 count to Mark Nellis as Stratton delivers. Inside, 3-1.
Stratton's been falling behind in a lot of these counts. If he wants to stay out there for a couple more innings, he's going to need to dial in on his command.
Can't get his command there as outside for ball 4, and Mark Nellis heads to first base. That is the second walk this game that Stratton's given up. His last one came with 2 outs. Now a little more dangerous here with no outs in the bottom of the third as Isaac Fernandez, who had a single in the first, comes up. Fernandez gets one outside past the glove of Lanfear. And a base hit, and left fielder Luke McLeod had struggle handling the ball. Nellis almost headed home, however, held up at third.
Yeah, if he rounded third and headed home, he surely would have been thrown out. McLeod able to adjust or bounce back from mishandling the ball at first and quickly fired it in. We know he's pitched, so there was certainly some pop behind that throw from him to get it in quickly and keep his Nellis over at third.
Fernandez able to reach second. So a no-out double. Runners on second and third. As Wyatt Bundy steps up, he chops one to first base. Hank Smith takes an eye over to Mark Ellis before backing up and stepping on first for out 1.
Yeah, that ball was hit so quickly to Smith that neither base runner had any chance to take more than a couple steps towards the next bag before he just slid it right over towards first for a crucial first out.
So it'll be Luke Skinner, struck out looking for the third out in the first inning. He'll have a chance to drive in 2 here with 2 runners in scoring position. Swung on and missed for strike 1.
It's the first time in a while we've seen Stratton be able to throw a pitch that warranted a swing and miss. Hopefully a sign that he's able to force a couple more of those.
0-1. Shows bunt, puts it down. Will just roll foul. Was nearly a perfectly executed bunt if the foul line were a few feet over.
Yeah, that was not too far from being a textbook bunt. It just rolled off the grass and kept rolling left. Smart play there by Lanfear to realize it very quickly and allow it to roll foul before picking it up.
It's a bit of a gamble every time, letting it roll. At 0-2, to Luke Skinner. Swing and miss goes down for strike 3. And the second out in the bottom of the third.
Great way to find his mark there on that at-bat. Just found great command of his curveball and dropped it right in there before Skinner could even think about swinging.
In the zone for strike 1 to Jack Holubowski, who also struck out his last time up. Still with runners on second and third. They got there with no outs. Now there's 2 outs after a ground out and a strikeout. Swing and miss, strike 2.
This has been a great stretch here for Stratton, just full control. Got a swing and miss strikeout his last batter, trying to make it 2 in a row.
Shakes off several pitches, taking his time, wanting the right pitch on the 0-2 count, just outside.
Wasn't far from getting that one exactly where he wanted it. Just a couple inches off of the plate, though.
Did you count 3 or 4 shakes of his head?
There were something like that. He's now just kind of floating back and forth.
That pitch up high for an even count.
Knew exactly what pitch he wanted to throw and was just waiting for Perez to finally give it to him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Popped, foul and back.
Holubowski's battled his way back into this at-bat after falling down 0-2 and off of a pair of swing and misses as well.
Stratton shakes off a couple more, winds up high, full count. I do enjoy watching the pitcher shake off more than just the pitch calm like they have in the MLB.
It is quite funny. This is now a big pitch.
Fouled directly back toward us. Stays full. Holubowski fighting these pitches off.
Obviously, it's important to avoid loading the bases, but this could be a big turning point of the game if Stratton's able to strand a couple and keep a 0 on the scoreboard.
Sends that one foul over toward what the Oilers call the beer garden, which is, I'm not sure if it's a bar over there or if it's just picnic tables where you can get some drinks.
Seems like a good time.
It's been packed every single game.
It's hard to blame them.
So the payoff pitch from Stratton out to Holubowski. Inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Would have liked to see Stratton be able to at least find a way to put the ball in play, especially with an 0-2 count. Just could not find the strike zone like he was able to against Skinner.
Now it'll be up to Garrison Jones to drive in a few runners for the Oilers. and extend this 2-0 lead. Grounded out his last time up. Fouls first pitch he sees. Back on the ground for strike one.
This at bat even bigger than the last. There's nowhere to put Jones. Stratton wants to hold the Oilers scoreless in an inning for the first time in this game. He's going to need to get an out here.
The 0-1 put into play. Sheffield there for a routine ground ball for out number 3. So the Oilers strand 3 runners and are held scoreless for the first time in an inning. And we'll be back to see Luke McLeod back up after his at-bat was cut short on a stolen attempt from Camden Lanphier. All that when we come back. Luke McLeod back up to the plate after Lanphier caught stealing at second base off of a tremendous throw from Isaac Fernandez, the catcher. And of course, Kian Prendez still out there on the mound as he delivers ball 1.
We were wondering if Lanphier was going to test the arm of Fernandez after stealing a base against Reed Oakley yesterday, and we got our answer. So the Bucs have failed more than succeeded in stolen base attempts against the Oilers here. You wonder if that'll affect how aggressive they are on the base pass today and every game going forward against the Oilers.
On the outside for strike 2 to McLeod. Yeah, the Bucs might have felt like they had a break with Fernandez behind the dish instead of Oakley. And now Fernandez showing to be just as serviceable as Luke McLeod goes down looking for out number 1 in the top of the 4th.
Just wasn't able to pull the trigger on that backdoor slider that came back in the zone and just barely caught the inside part of the plate.
It'll be Hank Smith, his first time up since the first inning, where he grounded out to short for the final out that inning. A slow-moving pitch inside for ball 1.
That wound up a lot closer than the plate that I thought it was going to, and I think Smith thought the same thing. He looked like he just kind of relaxed as that pitch came out of the arm.
Another off-speed pitch this time finds its way in for strike 1.
Brenda's finding a lot of success with that off-speed pitch so far.
And now delivers another strike for 1-2. One out in the top of the fourth. Oilers up 2-0. And tips it foul. Not caught by Fernandez, so Hank Smith will stay alive here.
Looks like that might have clipped the right hand of Fernandez, not his glove hand, so that can't feel good. Now just kind of looking at it and grasping with his hand, trying to get some feeling back into it. If the Bucs reach again safely and try to steal like they've done so often, he's going to need that hand.
The 1-2 drops down for another strikeout looking to Hank Smith.
And that portion of the strike zone seems to be where Prendez has dropped a lot of these pitches in. The Bucs seem to be disagreeing. Smith looked like he didn't want to leave the box, refused to believe that was a strike.
Ryan Dara puts one between third and short, and a great play there as Shane Cannon goes horizontal to grab it. However, won't get up in time to make a throw, and Dara will be safe at first.
Yeah, there was no chance he was going to be able to throw out Dara with how far that ball was to his left and far away from first base. A great play to keep it in the infield, but with the speed of Dara, there are not many batters that are faster than him on this field.
Now Finn Leach steps up as he takes strike one. If anyone's going to steal, Dara's one of those guys. Gets inside for ball one.
And especially with Fernandez taking that foul ball right on his throwing hand, this could be a big position for Dara to try to steal an extra bag.
Certainly something the Bucs should consider, as there goes Dara. And Leach swings and puts it foul straight back. And Dara will have to head back to first base.
Seemed like Leach saw Dara running and tried to put a hit and run in effect there, but that ball was going towards the height of his ankles. It was going to be a ball very easily, and it didn't look like Fernandez was going to have much of a chance to throw out Dara. So a missed opportunity to steal an extra bag there.
Leach sends that one into center. And caught for out 3 in the top of the fourth. The Bucs strand their third runner this game. And we'll be back for the bottom of the inning when we come back.
So now, here in the bottom of the fourth, Bucks still looking for their first run of the game. Oilers have gotten two. Looking to add on more as the 9-hole hitter Brady Brown leads things off. First pitch he sees goes right over to shortstop. Leach is there to field it, and his throw is in time for a quick first out.
So Stratton gets the first out in the bottom of the inning, excuse me. As we're back to the top of the lineup with Shane Cannon. Cannon shows bunt over that ball in the dirt, no chance. And that will be ball one.
It's been a very solid performance for Stratton on the mound, despite his offense not being able to back him with any runs thus far. He's gotten into a little bit of trouble. But in terms of last inning, loaded the bases and was able to work his way out of it.
Trying to get Cannon here, delivers ball two. It had a huge clutch strikeout in the last inning for the second out. And then a walk and then a ground out by Garrison Jones for out number 3. So he delivers strike 2 and the count is even.
Stratton just trying to find command of that outside part of the plate against these right-handed hitters with that righty-on-righty matchup. If he's able to deliver a pitch with enough movement, it can try to fool the batter.
Tipped off the bat and caught by Perez for strike 3 and the second out in the bottom of that fourth inning.
It's exactly the pitch he was trying to find these last couple attempts. He's able to find it there for the biggest pitch of the at-bat. And that's a quick 2 outs to start things off in the bottom of the fourth.
It'll be Hassan Cleaver. Has a single in the first and grounded out to Hank Smith in the second inning as he takes a big swing for strike 1.
It's a good sign to see that Stratton's fastball is still very alive and well. Tacked right up top near the lettering of Hassan Cleaver, and you just couldn't lay off of it.
Sent into shallow left for a single. The second base hit for the DH, Hassan Cleaver, today.
Felt good after that first fastball and tried to bring it into the bottom part of the zone, but Hassan Cleaver was all over it and timed it up very well. So it won't be a completely clean inning for Stratton. Still has plenty of opportunities to get out of this inning and keep the score the same.
It'll be Mark Nellis, who's reached base safely twice. Neither time's been a hit. It was fielder's choice in the first and a walk in the third, and he delivers one down the left field foul line for strike 1.
Seems like it's been a while since the last time Stratton fell behind an account. It's very important for him to be able to take control of these at-bats.
Up high for 1-1. Mark Nellis, originally from Toronto, so used to the cold. It's a little chilly here in Kenai. Certainly does not feel like the summers either one of us are used to.
Yeah, the wind up here certainly doesn't help either. It's only about 60 degrees, so not horrible, but that wind chill will sneak up on you.
Especially later in the game as Nellis swings for strike 2. Stratton 1 strike away from getting out of the 4th inning. Chops this one to Lanphier. Lanphier able to make a throw for an easy out 3. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning as Hayden Miller will start things off for us. We'll be right back on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. The Bucs have had no answers for Kian Perendez, who heads back out onto the mound for Peninsula. He'll face Hayden Miller here in the top of the 5th inning and delivers a first pitch ball.
And starting off, they were pretty patient, were able to draw a walk. Miller was in the second, but after that, there hasn't been much success.
Miller pops one into deep center. Will be caught by Jones for out 1.
Just another example of how hard it is to hit one out. Seemed like he got a good part of his barrel on that bat, or on that ball. And
goes to show how good the MLB hitters are, too.
That's also true. They're swinging the wood bats and sending it 450 feet.
The longest home run this season in the majors was just the other day from Drake Baldwin. It was 473. And to to center field here, it's 387. So about 100 feet more. Sending one deep there by Lucas Perez. That one goes foul. But another well-struck ball by Perez.
Yeah, he's come close twice now. Just hasn't been able to time it up well enough.
Pitch in the dirt for ball 2.
If he's able to slow down his swing just a little bit and still be able to locate his bat exactly where he has so far in this game, we could see one sent over the fence.
He swings and misses. Makes it a 2-2 count.
Just wasn't able to slow down his bat on that one. Was sitting fastball and got completely fooled by that off-speed pitch.
Pops up to shallow center. Jones there to make the play again. Gets the second out.
He's been a busy man. He's recorded the last 3 outs dating back to the 4th inning. The Bucs have been able to send balls straight up the middle, but not in the way that they've wanted to.
Now it'll be Sheffield coming up to the plate with no runners on. He swings at the first pitch, sends it into left. And a quick top of the 5th for the Oilers as they head back to offense in the bottom of the inning when we come back here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. Back here in the bottom of the 5th, where it will be Isaac Fernandez, the catcher, who has 2 hits today, a single and a double. Takes an inside pitch for ball 1. The Oilers have not scored since the 2nd inning. They scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and have been shut out since by Evan Stratton, who remains on the mound. Fernandez sends one into left field, gets down for a base hit and bounces off the wall. He'll head around to second. And that is the 3rd hit in today's game for Fernandez. Some early trouble for Stratton here in the 5th inning. There is someone warming up in the Bucs bullpen. It'll be a left-handed pitcher, hard to tell from here who it is. Now facing Wyatt Bundy, the first baseman for the Oilers. As Bundy pops one up, Leach there barely having to move for out 1. So Bundy going down on the first pitch. Luke Skinner coming up. He has 2 strikeouts. One strikeout looking, the other swinging. Outside for ball 1. Skinner pops this one. It'll stay in the infield. Leach having to drift way over before making the grab for out number 2. That'll be a pop out to shortstop for the second straight out. However, Leach basically over where Sheffield is. And Holubowski, third baseman, now up. Two outs, runner on second. Outside for ball 1. Another pop-up. This time will be way foul and out of play. Hank Smith barely moving from first base. A few kids heading over there, see who can get it first. So the 1-1 to Holubowski. A foul ball sent to almost the exact same spot.
Keeping the kids busy tonight. This Dalbot sponsor is Heather and Heather Screening and Printing, your local custom apparel shop in the Kenai Peninsula.
The Oilers down to their final strike here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-2. Chopped over. Lamphere able to make a play. And going down in the dirt to grab it, Hank Smith with a great grab. And the third out. We'll be back with the Bucs offense when we come back. It'll be Camden Lamphere starting things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Prendez still out there on the mound.
And outside of those 2 runs given up by Stratton, it's really been a big pitcher's duel so far.
Lamphere pops one just out of play. Wyatt Bundy took his hat off trying to get over there and get to it. Won't be able to make the grab. And Prendez had probably his best inning in the most recent 5th inning with 3 flyouts to the outfield. And it went by relatively quick, too.
Yeah, it's the only time he didn't give up a base runner the Bucks have now left 3 runners on, haven't been able to do anything even with a base runner to try to pressure Prendez in. They haven't gotten multiple base runners once. So if they want to try to cut into this deficit, they're going to need to kind of make Prendez feel like he has to make a play and just force him to make tough pitches.
The quiet bats luckily being aided by a very excellent performance from Evan Stratton, who not sure if we'll see him come back out. As Lamphere takes strike 2, and the count is even.
The most important part, he got past the nightmare of a 5th inning without giving up any runs, which the Bucks haven't been able to do for a while.
Lamphere puts one on the ground. Cannon scoops up, throws to first for out 1.
It's just been unfortunate for the Bucks. They've been able to get a few solid hits into the outfield. That one not able to, but their contact has just not been placed in the right places. They're having good at-bats for the most part, just haven't been able to do much with them.
Raymond steps up to the plate with 1 out in the top of the 6th, down 2-0 as he takes ball 1 on the outside off-speed pitch from Prendez. Takes again for ball 2.
And Raymond's been one of the more patient batters. We've seen that in a lot of his at-bats so far. Resulted in a single his first time up. He's trying to create some offense for the Bucks.
He pops one up. Bundy makes the grab for out number 2. We'll see Luke McLeod, who struck out looking to start things off in the top of the 4th inning last time up. He steps up with 2 outs. Low and in for ball 1 to McLeod.
McLeod hasn't been able to reach base safely, as of many other Bucks. Just trying to find some good contact, but it's been patient so far, and it's worked out well in this at-bat.
The 2-0 gets in for strike 1. Prendez still looking hot out there on the mound. For getting another one in at the top of the zone for strike 2.
That was a tough pitch to take by McLeod. He thought it was outside, and now all of a sudden he's a strike away from his at-bat being over.
This one way inside. An easy read for McLeod as the count goes full.
Now this is where the mental game comes into effect. If what he's expecting here with the lefty on righty matchup could sit fastball or try to slow down to an off speed.
Just a little low is ball 4. McLeod heads to first with Hank Smith coming up to the plate.
This is a big opportunity with the heart of the lineup. First 2 batters weren't able to do much, but now the cleanup hitter is going to try and do his job. Seen a lot of power from him, hasn't resulted in a lot of base hits. If he's able to find a gap here, it could score McLeod all the way from first.
He takes for strike 1.
He's one of the few left-handed batters in this lineup for the Bucs, so that's the only disadvantage they have with him in there.
Fouls one directly back. Looks like it hit his bat on his follow-through on the swing the second time. And is down in the count 0-2 with 2 outs. The Bucs looking to break through, have not been able to do so in this game. They've left 3 runners on. Fouling straight back. Count stays at 0-2.
It's the best thing that Smith can do right now, just protect the plate. If it's anywhere near, try to fend it off and wait till you can find your pitch. Still a long way to go, though. Has not seen a ball yet.
The 0-2 put into play, just foul. Wyatt Bundy was right there to scoop up the ground ball. Bounces just on the right side of the first base line.
Smith didn't get the best contact on that one. Just a weak 2-hopper over towards first base. He's now seen a handful of pitches from Prendez. See how much he's learned from them.
He puts one into right field. Will be foul. Hard to tell from our angle where that line is with the sun coming down.
And the first base umpire didn't even turn his back. He just waited for the ruling from the home plate umpire, who I guess had the best view of it.
And I was looking at the first base umpire to see what the call was, and I just kept looking, didn't see anything.
Yeah, he seemed pretty imminent that the home plate umpire had the best vantage point. Definitely confused both of us.
Another foul ball from Hank Smith, who is staying alive. Count has been 0-2 for quite some time.
He just keeps fouling off pitch after pitch. I think that's 4 or 5 now. He's not giving up any ground, not letting Prendez send him down on strikes looking. If he's going to go out, he's going to go down swinging.
Smith from Point Loma Nazarene. Takes the 0-2 as it goes high and away for ball 1.
And Prendez knows how much Smith is protecting the zone, trying to get him to chase on that one. Just a little too high, though, to warrant a swing from Smith.
Chopped over. Bundy has trouble at first, but plenty of time to get out number 3. The Bucs strand another runner, and we head to the bottom of the 6th here on the Bucs YouTube channel when we come back. New pitcher, Colavecchio, coming on to the mound for the Bucs here in the 6th inning after 5 innings and 2 runs given up by Evan Stratton.
Making his second appearance of this road trip, came in Tuesday's game in the 8th inning and gave up a run in just an inning of work. Didn't give up a single hit, though, as he walked 2 and then 3 straight flyouts. Or 2 straight flyouts were able to score the runner before he got the third one. So an opportunity here to keep this game at 2. A big opportunity that is with such a close game.
A high leverage situation for Colavecchio as he delivers to Garrison Jones, who fouls back for strike 2.
Foul ball is going to Kenai City Council member Bridget Grime.
Jones, a center fielder who's been busy tonight, catching several fly balls in his direction, will take the third pitch for ball 1.
And I'm just now realizing that Prendez was the first pitcher we've seen go 6 innings from either team, at least that I'm aware of. Usually 5 innings seems to be the cutoff, with a lot of these guys being put on pitch counts by their pitching coaches back at school.
Another one hit foul, out of play in left field.
Sure, it's hard to keep Prendez from leaving the game with how lights out he's been today. Only 3 hits given up, no runs. Bucks probably hoping is not back out there on the in the 7th inning.
Gets him looking. And the first batter that Colavecchio faces gets a strikeout.
It's a perfect start right there. The lefty on lefty matchup just painted the outside corner with the fastball, and Jones couldn't make up his mind in time to pull the trigger.
It'll be Brady Brown, the right fielder, stepping up. He walked in the 2nd and grounded out to short in the 4th inning. He chops one to Lamphere. Lamphere's 3rd ground out in the game. Makes it look easy over there.
He's had a couple of routine plays that he's handled perfectly. He's had a couple of harder plays that he makes look routine. It's been very solid for them over at third base, and he's had his work cut out for him today.
Lamphere is one of those guys who's moved around to a few different positions, always on the left side, as he's been at short and left field, so he's just a left side specialist, I guess. It'll be Shane Cannon back to the top of the lineup. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
Much stronger start from Colavecchio this time around compared to Tuesday, where he walked the first 2 batters he faced. Trying to create some momentum for his squad, who is looking for anything.
That fastball down the middle for strike 1.
This is a very important stretch here for the Bucs pitching staff, no matter who's out there on the mound, with the top of the order coming back up for the 4th time. They didn't see Stratton too well the 2nd and 3rd time around. It's mainly that first time that they had a lot of trouble with, so Colavecchio trying to continue that here.
Way inside for ball 3. And a 3-1 count to Shane Cannon.
This is where Colavecchio can fall into some trouble. Obviously, the base is empty right now, so not a whole lot of danger, but if he continues to fall behind in counts, it could spell trouble.
Delivers ball 4 up high, and Cannon heads to first base.
Next, we've got our DH, number 28, Brooks Hasencleaver.
The Oilers have stranded 7 in this game, hoping for 8 here as Brooks Hasencleaver comes up to the plate. Runner goes. Perez throws over. Not held on by Leach. And Cannon safe at second.
It was going to be a tough play either way. The throw to Perez was a one-hopper going away from Leach, so a good play by him just to be able to keep the ball from going into center field and potentially allowing the base runner to advance to third.
Could always be worse. Sent into left field. McLeod there for the grab and out number 3. So the 8th stranded runner by the Oilers as we head to the top of the 7th here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. So Prendez heads back out to the mound for the 7th inning, the longest we've seen a starting pitcher go here in the ABL.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy, but he's only up to 81 pitches, so I'm sure his coaches are well aware what his pitch count is at. They seem to trust that he will stay under it here in the 7th.
He delivers to Ryan Dara, who swings and misses for strike 2.
Dara with just one of 3 hits for the Bucs, singled in the 4th, but like every other base runner was stranded.
He fouls that off. Heads down the first base line, but went off his foot, and he takes a second to walk it off.
Yeah, he'll circle around and just try to give his foot some time to get back to its best form. Tried to steal second his last time up, but he couldn't.
I was going to say, considering his speed is one of the most valuable assets to his game, he'll need that foot as strong as it can be. The 0-2 sent into right field. Won't be able to get down for a hit, and that'll be out number 1 here in the top of the 7th inning.
Paused just enough time for that pitch to get into the zone, and he took it for a ride, but it was right over to Brady Brown, and that's just been the story today for the Bucs offense. They've barreled up plenty of balls, but it's gone right to the fielders.
Finn Leach, who's popped out twice in today's game, now steps up to the plate, takes strike one. This is also the 8th game in a row for the Bucs. As Leach puts down a bunt, it'll stay fair. And the throw from Fernandez gets Leach in time at first base.
Not the worst idea with how the game is going for the offense. Leach just trying to find any way to get on base. Wasn't able to get enough on that bunt, though, to get it past Fernandez, who was able to get out of his stance in time and make a pinpoint throw.
So Hayden Miller, the DH, steps up to the plate. Swings and misses, strike one. As I was saying, the 8th game in 8 days for the Bucs. Luckily have an off day tomorrow before being back at home against the Glacier Pilots on Sunday. As Prendez delivers one in the dirt for ball one.
Sure, that off day tomorrow will be much needed. Can't see a reason why Kurt Schreider would want to throw in an extra day of practice after playing for 8 straight days. It seems like a day off is extremely warranted and important, just to give these guys a day to recuperate their minds and bodies.
Miller swings for strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Oilers up 2-0. That ball goes into the dirt before it reaches home plate, and the count goes full.
Wonder if no matter what happens here, this is the last batter that Prendez will face. There's some arms getting up and going, but I don't think anybody is ready enough to come in for Prendez, so they're trusting him to get through this inning.
Miller pops one into right field. And caught in foul territory for out 3. Prendez delivers another clean inning with 2 flyouts to right and a bunt that was thrown from Fernandez over to first. And we'll be back here on the opposite side of the 7th inning stretch when we come back. It'll be Mark Nellis, batting third in the lineup, who will start things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Carl Colavecchio staying on the mound. It's his second inning of work. And Nellis shows a bunt and backs off for ball one.
After a quick start from the Oilers, they've started to reach a standstill. Only two hits since the fourth inning and 3 base runners total. That just shows how much more important Evan Stratton getting out of that third inning without giving up a run has been. It's keeping the Oilers from completely running away with this and allowing the Bucs to stay within reach. But with the way their offense has been working, they're going to need a lot of help and maybe a little bit of luck in these last 2 innings.
Colavecchio able to get strike one. Fouled back for strike two. Colavecchio delivers up high.
Crucial to not allow the leadoff runner to reach here. Keep the bases empty and your mind clear so you only have to focus on the batter in front of you.
That ball up high and the count runs full. We'll see the payoff pitch from Colavecchio. Swung on and missed for strike three.
That can be a big confidence booster for Colavecchio here to avoid allowing the leadoff man to reach, and especially with a swing and miss there, his first of the game. He started off the 6th inning with a backwards K, but knowing that you have a pitch that the batter wants to hit but just can't is always a good feeling when you're on the mound. See if he can carry that into the rest of this inning.
And now a guy who comes up. You don't want to have anyone on base when Isaac Fernandez steps up to the plate. He has 3 hits today, a single and 2 doubles. Pops one into right field. Drew Raymond chasing down in foul territory, and there to make the play for out number 2.
Big to get the guy who is responsible for half of the hits from the Oilers out. And a 1-2-3 inning could potentially spark something that the Bucs offense can feed off of. Any chance of momentum that he can grab here could be crucial to these last 2 innings.
Outside for ball 1 to Wyatt Bundy, whose walk-up song sounds very similar to the Chicago Bulls. Colavecchio delivering a 1-0 pitch for a strike.
Seems to have pretty good control here. He's had a couple pitches that have wound up way out of the zone, but for the most part, he's not missed by much.
Two-one to Bundy. Popping one foul, and the count is even at 2. The final strike for the Oilers, put over the middle, and a ground ball base hit for Wyatt Bundy, as Colavecchio just barely misses a clean bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that one right under his glove. He was extremely close to fielding it, and he was the only one that would have gotten there in time with how wide the middle infielders were playing there. That just keeps the inning going, allowing more opportunities for the Oilers.
So it'll be Luke Lusky coming in for Luke Skinner.
Substitution coming in. We've got number 19, Luke Lusky.
Luke Lusky, who we saw DH the first 2 games and then played first yesterday, now comes in for Skinner, who is the second baseman, so we might see Lusky come into second or make some adjustments in the field when we get to the top of the 8th.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see where he plays. Like you said, he was at first yesterday. When Bundy was in, he played left field 2 days ago. He's the first baseman right now. You wonder if they trust him more at second than Lusky, but sooner or later we will find out.
1-0 to Lusky. Takes a ball in the dirt for ball 2.
This is not the scenario that Colavecchio wants to be in, behind in the count to a guy that has a lot of pop in his bat.
Shows a little bit of pop there as he sends one foul. I saw the ball go up. I never saw it come down. I don't know where it went. Either way, strike 1.
Yeah, Lusky was very behind on that one. Just barely able to get his bat to make contact, but very crucial strike 1 for Colavecchio.
Inside on the 2-1 for ball 3.
This is a big pitch here. Colavecchio doesn't want to give something that Lusky can easily hit, but he also doesn't want to put 2 runners on. He has to pick this pitch very carefully and where he wants to put it.
Chopped to Lanphier. Makes a great ground ball play and a throw to Hank Smith for the 3rd out. Lanphier continues to shine at the hot corner, and we head to the top of the 8th inning right here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel after this. Nathaniel Ramirez will be the first pitcher to come in for relief for Kian Prendez, who delivered 7 strong innings and left the Bucs scoreless.
Yeah, Ramirez, we've already seen before, got tacked with the loss in Tuesday's game. Gave up 2 runs in an inning of work, so comes in here in the 8th trying to keep his ball club's 2-0 lead the same.
He'll face Lucas Perez, the catcher for the Bucs, who is yet to reach safely today, has a ground out and a pop out. He'll check swing here and won't even appeal. Home plate umpire says he went, and that'll be strike 2. The 0-2 to Perez. Check swing again. This time they'll appeal, say he went. And a 3-pitch strikeout to Lucas Perez gets the first out in the top of the 8th.
Not the best at-bat from Perez, especially at this time of the game. 8, 9, and 1 due up in the 8th, so even if the Bucs aren't able to get anything here in this inning, they'll have their best hitters due up in the most crucial time of the game.
Outside for ball 1 to Andrew Sheffield, the 9-hole hitter and second baseman for the Bucs. Inside for ball 2.
Sheffield hasn't had the best day, 0 for 2, so 2 straight balls to him he'll take all day.
That ball falls in for strike 1. Yeah, Sheffield grounded out after putting one right back to the pitcher and then popped out to left field in the 5th inning. He sends one foul and back. More kids chase after it, and it's a 2-2 count.
Yeah, it's a very full crowd here today with it being a Friday night. A lot more fans out here to cheer on their Oilers.
A lot more kids, too, than we've seen as Andrew Sheffield goes down looking for the second out.
It's back-to-back strikeouts from Ramirez. Definitely a better outing than his first time around, but now one of the more dangerous hitters in this lineup faces him in a crucial part with Bucs down to the last 4 outs and down by a pair of runs.
Camden Lanphier, third baseman, has had a phenomenal glove today. He puts one on the ground. Will try to beat out the throw, and he does, as third baseman Jack Hulabowski had to go to the ground for the ball and couldn't get the throw off in time to get Lanphier out at first.
Yeah, that was a really close play, and Shane Cannon might have had a better chance to get Lanphier out there as Hulabowski had to dive all the way across and wasn't able to get up to his feet in time, but Cannon could have just made the backhand play and maybe had a quicker throw, but either way, there's a runner on for the first time in a while for the Bucs.
So it'll be Drew Raymond who has a single. That was way back in the first inning. So he takes strike 1 from Ramirez.
Lanphier's already been caught stealing once back in the 3rd inning. Would be very surprised if he tries to go again after Fernandez has already thrown him out once.
A late call from the umpire. Hesitated just a second, but will be strike 2 to Raymond.
Yeah, very close call on the outside of the plate there. Raymond didn't necessarily agree with it, though I'm sure no batter agrees with the strike call.
The Bucs don't have a hit since the 4th inning, as Ramirez delivers outside for ball 1. Finally got one with Lanphier on the single. Lanphier goes, swung on and missed from Raymond, and that'll be strike 3. So 3 strikeouts here in the 8th inning from Nathaniel Ramirez. And the Bucs with only 3 more outs to tie this game up, or potentially even more. But first, the Oilers will take the plate when we come back. Colavecchio back on the mound for his third inning of work after coming into relief for Evan Stratton. And the first batter that Colavecchio will see here will be Jack Holubowski, the third baseman. Holubowski has a walk and a strikeout and a ground out. And he sees ball one from Colavecchio.
It's been a very strong outing from Colavecchio, 2 scoreless innings. He's only given up 2 base runners. Trying to keep his team within reach here.
Stuns Holubowski for strike one. So we have a 1-1 count, no outs. Oilers still up 2-0. Gets in for strike two.
This is a very promising outing from Colavecchio as bullpen struggles have plagued the Bucs all season long. It's been a big reason why they haven't been able to come away with wins in the past handful of games. Yesterday was a big example of that. Colavecchio's done his job so far, and
gives a hit there to Holubowski, who heads to second after putting one in left field. And a no-out double from Holubowski puts a runner in scoring position for the Oilers.
it's the first time since really the 5th inning that the Oilers have threatened. They had a leadoff double there, but Stratton did a good job to shut down the the Oilers after that. Colavecchio trying to do the same here with the bottom of the order.
Garrison Jones up to bat. Struck out looking his last time up in the 6th inning. Shows bunt, puts it down. A well-executed sacrifice bunt from Jones advances the runner to third.
It's exactly what you wanted to do there. Is the bunt sent down the first base line, didn't really allow for a throw over to third. The only play was at first, and now any ball deep enough into the outfield will score a run, which is something we haven't said in quite some time.
Not since the 2nd inning, when the Oilers were able to score their 2nd run. It's been all zeros since then, as Colavecchio delivers to Brady Brown, strike one.
It's been an absolute pitcher's duel so far, which is something that the Bucs will be able to hang their hat on, even if they can't come away with a win today, to be able to say that they have a pitching staff that's able to stand in there and keep a game close even when their offense isn't producing like it normally is.
It's just so unfortunate when the pitching and the batting can't come together at the same time.
A lot of times it's usually one or the other. Bucks have seen that plenty here so early in the season.
And Brady Brown goes down swinging. A 3-pitch strikeout. And with a runner 90 feet away, the Bucks are only 1 out away from getting out of the bottom of this 8th inning.
And that's huge. Any sacrifice attempt is now out the window. It'll take a hit to score the runner.
It'll be Shane Cannon, who had a single back in the 2nd, walked in the 6th inning, and struck out back in the 4th. So he takes ball 1.
He's also been extremely patient. Talked about those 2 walks he's had. Just taking what the pitching is giving him. And right now, that isn't much.
Two outs. The 2-0 count in the dirt for ball 3. Perez able to keep it in front of him, holding Holubowski at third.
This is a very dangerous position. Obviously, Colavecchio doesn't want to completely give up on the at-bat. We've seen a lot of pitchers just throw a fastball right down the middle to get a strike call.
Just a little on the outside. Don't think that Colavecchio agreed with the call as Cannon heads to first on a 4-pitch walk.
That gives one of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup a chance to really put the Bucks to bed. Good news for the Bucks is that they have the lefty-on-lefty matchup, so it'll be a lot harder for Hasencleaver to find success in this at-bat.
The runner at first goes, and Perez never threw it. Don't quite know what held him up.
I think with Holubowski at third, he didn't want to throw it over to second and let Holubowski try to steal home there. We saw a similar scenario happen in the second game with Luke Taylor stealing home. Definitely looks weird when you don't think about it, but it was probably the right play from Perez. If he pops out of his stance and throws over to Finn Leach, Leach is more worried about laying down the tag, and if Cannon's safe, that gives Holubowski all the time in the world to make a break for home.
It's a pretty good play from Holubowski then to get in the eye of Perez, as strike 1 is delivered on the outside of the zone for a 1-1 count.
And with how close this game is, Perez just wasn't willing to take the gamble of throwing the runner out at second. He hasn't had the most accurate of throws when they've tried to steal on him so far. So hard to blame him there.
Up high for ball 2.
Also shows that he has trust in Colavecchio to get the out here and keep that stolen base from really mattering other than for Cannon's stats.
Another hesitant call from the plate umpire, but gives the strike to Colavecchio.
And on both sides, that outer part of the plate to left-handed hitters, his warranted calls that neither batter on either side seems to be happy with.
2-2. Up high for a full count. There is a pitcher warming up in the Bucs bullpen should this game go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Certainly hope to see that. as the payoff pitch from Colavecchio is sent into left field, will go foul and out of play.
Hassan Cleaver just a bit behind on that one. Wasn't too far from timing that one up perfectly and got great contact on that one. Colavecchio sees that, he understands it, and now a big payoff pitch from him.
Payoff pitch again, gets him looking for the third out in the bottom of the 8th. So the Bucs have one more shot to tie this game up or take the lead. It will be McLeod, Smith, and Dara up to bat, barring any pinch hitters. And we'll be back to see that when we come back. So Luke McLeod steps up here in potentially the final inning. The first game between these two did go to 10. And Nathaniel Ramirez back out on the mound after he got 3 strikeouts in the last inning. Did give up a single to Lamphere during that time, however.
This is exactly the part of the lineup that the Bucs want up to bat. It's the heart of their lineup. Even though McLeod and Smith haven't had the best of days, they've shown before that if they see the ball well, they can send it quite a ways.
(2-0) to McLeod. Ramirez delivers, nearly hitting the left fielder for a 3-0 count.
It's likely he'll just sit back on this pitch and see if Ramirez can find the zone in this at-bat. Likely won't be that aggressive.
Tried to deliver a fastball down the middle just to get a strike on the board, however misses his mark. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk to Luke McLeod. And the tying run steps up to the plate in Hank Smith.
We've seen the type of power this guy can put on a ball with a righty-lefty matchup. Is in a prime position to do so. Had a couple balls that had the distance but wound up foul just a couple games ago. If he gets his pitch, watch out.
Inside for the 5th straight ball from Ramirez, which will warrant a mound visit from the infield of the Oilers as well as the head coach.
Doesn't look like we'll get a pitching change just yet, but a couple of arms warming up in the bullpen for the Oilers. Looks like 2 righties. Only one's warming up, though, so Ramirez, who is their closer as far as we know, Though yesterday it was Kevin O'Pannell who got the save for the third time this season, so they opt to not throw him and they go to Ramirez instead.
Last time Luke McLeod was at first base was in the 6th inning when he had a walk then, too. Didn't even check over to first to keep him from stealing. Not a lot of confidence in McLeod's speed. As Hank Smith takes for strike one.
That was a fastball that was well in the zone, definitely a hittable pitch, but Smith not rushing his timing, trying to keep control in this at-bat.
No outs, 1-1 count outside for ball two.
It's 6 balls in the last 7 pitches from Ramirez. Smith is just waiting for him for some sort of challenge that'll force him to bring the bat off his shoulder.
Gets one in, even at 2.
I think that was the pitch right there that he needed to pull the trigger on, was a fastball that, yeah, it was leaning outside, but definitely looked like it landed in the strike zone by a decent margin.
The Bucs were down 1 yesterday in the top of the 9th. Couldn't get the job done as Hank Smith puts one into left center. Will head to second base. McLeod will stay at third, and a standing double from Hank Smith as the potential go-ahead run comes up to the plate in Ryan Dara.
What a hit there from Smith. Lined it perfectly into left center. It didn't go all the way to the wall. We've talked about how hard it is to do that here, but with how quickly he rounded first and didn't hold up or second guess whether or not he wanted to go for second, and that split second of decision making that would maybe hinder him usually was huge and allowed him to get in there with a stand-up double. And all of a sudden, the Bucs are in business.
And the Oilers are going to make a call to their bullpen. So that will be the end for Nathaniel Ramirez, who had a phenomenal 8th inning. Had 3 strikeouts, one of them looking, only a single given up. Now with a walk to McLeod and then a double to Smith, that will be the end of his night. Can't blame the Oilers here in the most important inning of the game. And coming into the game will be number 10, Gabe Smith. Smith from Anoka Ramsey Community College and originally from Kenai, Alaska.
Are we all agreeing Gabe Smith? Welcome to the mound, number 10, Gabe Smith.
Gabe Smith listed on the Oilers online roster as an infielder. So he's coming in now for a big relief with runners on second and third, no outs, and an excellent hitter in Ryan Dara coming up to the mound. Has a single back in the 4th inning, a strikeout in the 2nd, and popped out back in the 7th.
Yeah, Smith was a two-way player for Anoka Ramsey Community College. Appeared in 8 games and threw a 3.68 ERA. Only allowed 6 runs, 3 of which were earned in 7 innings of work. Struck out 6 batters, but also walked 5. Is one of the hometown kids from Kenai.
Got to figure he grew up coming to Oilers games, so now a huge honor for him to be on the team and coming in such a vital moment.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tall task for him, but the important thing for the Bucs is after Dara, Finn Leach comes up as a left-handed hitter. So a small advantage for them there, and then after Leach is Hayden Miller, who is another righty, so The Oilers playing the numbers with two of the next three batters up, right-handed hitters going to their bullpen and getting a righty. But all of a sudden, fans are on the edge of their seats here.
Ryan Dara check swing, holds back for strike one.
Yeah, that was a perfect slider that started outside on Dara and worked its way back in. He saw it, but just wasn't able to pull the trigger in time.
0-1 to Dara, delivered. He'll foul that out. Quickly down in the count, 0-2.
Now he just needs to protect the plate. That's what he was doing right there. It probably would have ended up being a ball with how high it was, but at this point in the game, you just can't take any chances and hope that the umpire calls it your way.
Inside, won't give it to Smith, and it'll be a 1-2 count.
Almost an identical slider to the first one that Dara saw, but started just too far outside and didn't have enough time to work its way back over the plate. A great take there by Dara.
Sends this one fair, and 1 run scores. Heading for a third. A game-tying triple from Ryan Dara ties this game up in the top of the 9th inning. Still no outs.
Big time at bat there from Dara. Just barely took that one foul right past the glove of Bundy. And we've talked about that speed with how much time it took Brady Brown in right field to get to that one. Dara was going to hold up at second, but then lifted his head up for just a split second. Saw his head coach, Kirk Schreider, waving him over to third, and in no time he's at third, now just 90 feet away from being the go-ahead run.
First pitch to Leach, high for ball 1. That one right down the middle for strike 1.
Leach with the biggest advantage in terms of which side of the plate he bats on. The next two batters are right-handers, so with the righty and lefty matchup here, he wants to try to take advantage of that.
He'll pop into left field. Dara waiting to tag. He goes, the throw heading home. He will be barely safe. An excellent throw from Mark Nellis in left, but the Bucs take the lead in the top of the 9th on a sac fly from Finn Leach.
Yeah, a lot closer than it should have been. For some reason, Dara decided that he had plenty of time to not slide. But it's hard to argue when he has the long strides that he does. We've talked about he stands in at 6'3". He's known for his speed. His 60-yard time was in the 90th percentile at 6.87 heading into college. I'm sure a year with the strength coach at ASU only made that time even better. And we saw every millisecond of it right there with how quick that throw was from left field.
Now it'll be designated hitter Hayden Miller with no runners on, but a fresh lead as the Bucs have put up 3 in the top of the 9th. His first 2 pitches make that 3 pitches he sees for balls.
And the biggest thing is there's only 1 out here. There is still plenty of time left for the Bucs to continue this rally.
Inside, a 4-pitch walk to Hayden Miller. Now it's looking like we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Chase Maselli coming in that 8th spot where Lucas Perez was batting.
Another left-handed hitter here for the Bucs. Probably a big reason why he's in here. But now the question becomes, who will they put in at catcher? Ty Denton is still available. He caught yesterday. I don't think Luke Taylor is available. He might still be nursing that wrist injury.
Showing bunt, holding back, went high for ball 1.
He's a speedy guy from Anchorage, went 13 for 17 on the base pass at Cayuga Community College. Even if this is a sack bunt, it won't be an easy play at first, depending on how good a bunt he lays down.
So 2 Alaska natives here squaring off in the 9th inning. Chase Maselli representing Anchorage, Gabe Smith representing Kenai, as another bunt attempt gets fouled back for strike 1.
And now with how closely Holubowski is playing over at third base, makes the margin of error way smaller than it already was.
A 2-1 count to Chase Maselli. Only 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Bucs with a 3-2 lead. Backs off on the bunt. Ended up being inside and a 3-1 count.
Maselli's still with another strike to work with as well, so he's going to be able to see this next pitch very closely if he decides to try and bunt again. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't.
He does, and that'll be ball 4. Puts Hayden Miller in scoring position and 2 runners on as Andrew Sheffield, the second baseman and right-handed batter, steps up to the plate.
Smith now with a quick meeting with Holubowski, just trying to calm his nerves. Still has an opportunity to get out of this inning with just a 1-run deficit, but the Bucs have answered back here big already.
And so after talking to Holubowski, they'll have a much wider meeting on the mound.
We see some action over in the Bucs bullpen, both bullpens for that fact. Smith still trying to get out of this inning, but taking a quick peek ahead. Looks like there is a right-hander warming up for the Bucs. Can't tell exactly who it is, but I think there's a good chance that we've seen the last of Carl Colavecchio, who's already thrown 3 great innings. Looks like it might be John Carlson
That's
out
right.
there.
Number 31, yeah.
He's already thrown twice here. He's probably the best arm for the Bucs. He'll only need to throw an inning if he's able to fend off the Oilers.
Sheffield shows bunt early. The infielders on the corners coming way in as he fouls it back for strike 1.
Yeah, probably not the best decision to step in the box and get right into your bunt stance. You want to try to fool the infield a little bit, but Sheffield just showing all of his cards right away.
First and third, playing almost in the infield grass, waiting for that bunt. Instead, Sheffield won't show bunt and will take ball 1.
Yeah, probably the right decision there. You don't want to give the infield too good of an idea. A hard enough hit ball either way could easily get past them with how closely they're playing too.
First baseman coming way in. Goes for the attempt on the bunt, misses for strike 2.
Sheffield just committing a little too far on that one. There was a ball way off the plate. Couldn't pull back the bunt in time, though.
The 1-2 in the dirt for ball number 2, an even count. Runners at first and second. You have Hayden Miller at second and Chase Maselli at first. Both reached on walks. Now Sheffield here, batting in the 9th spot.
Both of them have a lot of speed, too.
Outside, the count runs full.
Talked about how many stolen bases they had for their respective teams during college ball, and Miller at 5'11", Maselli at 5'10", both smaller frames compared to a lot of other batters on this team, and can get a good run on the base pass in a hurry.
Sends it just fair. Hayden Miller rounds third. Maselli stays at second, but a clutch hit from Andrew Sheffield puts up another run for the Anchorage Bucs.
From the 9-hole hitter to an RBI single to extend the lead even more. And it's just been clutch hit after clutch hit for the Bucs here so far. And still with only one out, it's been everybody playing their part here. And the only out was an RBI sac fly, so even the one out in this inning was huge as well.
Which will do it for Gabe Smith after 4 runs score in the top of the 9th. Only 1 run. They'll make another call to the bullpen. It will be number 18, Jake Tharnish from Metropolitan Community College, originally from Lansing, Kansas. A very tall individual at 6'6".
And I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen Kevin O'Pannell after he came in the 9th yesterday in a 1-run game and struck out the side. He only threw about 10 or 12 pitches, so it's not like he completely threw himself out of participating in today's game, especially after not playing in Tuesday or Wednesday's game. Oilers choosing to go different directions for reasons I'm sure they are confident in. They know a lot more about this team than we do.
We haven't seen Tharnish in this 4-game series, and he will have a tall task to face with only 1 out, runners on first and second, and Camden Lanphier, the leadoff batter, coming up to the plate.
He's only appeared in 2 games so far, is 0 for 1. Has an 0-1 record, did not record an out, and gave up 2 runs in a loss to the Glacier Pilots, then came in 2 days later and delivered a scoreless inning. He's trying to replicate the latter performance here. Though responsible for the remaining 2 runners on base is still Smith, so his final stat line is yet to be determined.
2 singles in the game already for Lanphier, who has a runner in scoring position, takes the ball way inside for ball 1.
Bucs have already drawn 3 walks here in this inning. Their patience has finally paid off.
Chops over to third, looking to get the double play, and the throw in time from Holubowski ends the top of the 9th, but not before the Bucs can take a 4-2 lead on a 2 RBI triple from Ryan Dara and a clutch hit from Andrew Sheffield, as well as a sac fly from Finn Leach, scoring the 4 runs. So we'll be back to see Andrew Haberman on the mound for the Anchorage Bucs in the bottom of the 9th. Andrew Haberman on the mound for the Bucs with a 2-run cushion. However, he faces a very talented part of this Oilers lineup in Mark Nellis, Isaac Fernandez, and Wyatt Bundy.
Yeah, already making his 4th appearance and hasn't even been here for a week. He pitched 2 days ago, gave up 1 unearned run, but through 3 innings, he has not given up a single earned run. Has thrown 2 scoreless frames and then the 1 frame in the run rule loss.
Mark Nellis, who fouls back for strike 1. The Oilers have left 11 on base this game as Haberman delivers outside for ball 1.
And like you said, a very dangerous part of this lineup with 3, 4, and 5 coming up the heart of the order.
As Haberman delivers strike 2. Just a little low. Makes the count even at 2. Full count now to Mark Nellis. Very talented batter.
And with Isaac Fernandez coming up, this is crucial to not let a base runner get on for him.
Skies it into center field. Dara there for the grab. And out number 1 in the bottom of the 9th.
Just like we've talked about before, if you get it in the strike zone, even if they're able to barrel a ball, it won't go far enough for any type of danger, and that's exactly what happened there. Haberman with a full count didn't want to risk anything. Nellis got a great piece of contact, but it just went straight to center field.
Now Isaac Fernandez, who has reached safely 3 times with 3 hits, a single, 2 doubles, and his most recent time up popped out to right field as he puts 1 foul for strike 1.
Haberman not backing down and just attacking these hitters head on, trying to avoid falling behind in any counts.
Put over to Finn Leach, who makes the throw to first and gets the throw in time for the 2nd out.
What a play there by Leach. It took a last-minute leap into his glove that he was able to snag right out of the air, and his throw looked a little high, but with as big of a target as Hank Smith is, it's hard to overthrow that guy, and we see just there.
And the final hope for the Oilers here, Wyatt Bundy, comes up with 2 outs to face Haberman, who puts the ball outside for ball 1. Bundy had a single in the first. And that is his only time reaching today as he swings and misses for the first strike.
That was an absolute heater from Haberman, even though it fell out of the zone. Had a lot of mustard behind that one.
The 1-1 outside. 2-1 count to Bundy. Hit foul directly back for strike 2, and the Oilers down to their final strike of the game. Haberman delivers. Sent into right field, Raymond with an easy catch for out 3. And a 9th inning come from behind win for the Bucs.
What an effort from the Bucs. They had no offense for 8 innings, only had 4 total hits. And then they come around and put up a 4 spot in the 9th. As they win the first game of the series, they drop the next 2 that were very deflating losses, especially the 16-6 loss, but they don't back down. And their pitching staff comes up big. All they had to do was just wait for their offense to come alive. It waited till the last possible second, which I'm sure had plenty of Bucs fans waiting just to see if they would able to come alive. They finally did. And what a win with the final game of the road trip and an off day waiting.
That's the kind of win the Bucs needed. The past 2 that they've had so far have been very, very close nail biters. And the Bucs have also given up many runs this season and many leads. Good to see them come back here when it matters most in the top of the 9th inning, as they improve their record to 3-6 in a potentially season-defining win. Well, that'll do it for us here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. The Bucs go 2-2 in the 4-game series against the Oilers. As we mentioned earlier, off day tomorrow, and then facing the Glacier Pilots at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. For Jake Sloan, I'm Ren Grimsley. Want to thank you for watching, and go Bucs.